Hello, this is Resource of the Week with SolanoConnex, Mental Health, Service Access, and You. My name is Valentina Kelly.
And I'm Elena Starr. And this week we're meeting with Serena Eastman, Director of Services at Youth Rising and Case Manager at My Friend's House, and Colleen Berumen, Executive Director of Vacaville Solano Services Corporation. Colleen and Serena, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, absolutely.
So we are super excited to learn more about the different services with VSSC. Can you tell us, just to start off with, what is Vacaville Solano Services Corporation and what the programs are that fall under that?
Sure. Yeah, Vacaville Solano Service Corporation was founded in 1990 to provide services to women with children and usually domestic violence situations. It has evolved dramatically in the last 32 years, and it is now serving all homeless throughout Solano County, not just women, men, youth, and families. Everybody gets help from Vacaville Solano Services. That is, I like to think of it as an umbrella. That Vacaville Solano Services is an umbrella, and underneath the umbrella, we have all our different programs. The one that everybody is most familiar with is Opportunity House. But I started in 2017, and Opportunity House wasn't truly fulfilling the mission of breaking the cycle of homelessness, because prevention is needed in that as well. So we started expanding our programming. So we had Opportunity House, and then we did a children's health and wellness program that's within our shelter. That's part of our prevention part. Then we wanted to help youth, and we came up with My Friend's House. And My Friend's House originally was supposed to be an under 18 youth shelter, but the licensing procedure for that is extensive. And we were able to get some funding for a transitional age youth shelter, meaning 18 to 24-year-olds. And I'll let Serena get in on the nitty gritty on that, because that's her baby, right? So then we also created our After Reach program, and our After Reach program helps people after they graduate from our programs, and we follow them along with some services for 2 years after they have left to truly make sure that they break that cycle of homelessness for good. And then we decided to come up again. Another part of prevention is with Youth Rising. And again, that's another one of Serena's babies. She's holding twins right now, right? And I'm going to let her talk about that. But our whole big mission in Solano County is to break that cycle of homelessness. And that's what we're doing at VSSC.
Awesome.
And I guess, Serena, would you like to tell us a little bit maybe about your first baby? You want to go into maybe My Friend's House and what it specializes in and what you do there?
Yes, absolutely. So My Friend's House is a 90-day emergency shelter type program. And what we do is we bring in youth that are between the ages of 18 and 24. And a lot of them are coming from different backgrounds, right? Whether they became wards of the state through probation or foster care, or all different situations in life. And so the whole idea behind our program at My Friend's House is to help equip them for independence. So it gives them 90 days to have a place to rest their head. And then they're also working on whether it's going after school or going after work, just trying to help build the small steps in order to create a solid foundation. And so we have different opportunities for them, like case management, which is an option. We also have a housing navigation coordinator who is part of our After Reach program. And she comes in once a week and she helps connect all of our clients with people who are interested in filing for Section 8 housing or a different program that might better suit their needs. And it's all available to them at their age right there for them.
I wanted to ask, just before we jump into the next one, so it's 18 to 24, and
Yes.
Does that include families or parents who are also within that age range and their children, or what does that look like?
So for people who may have children or are in different situations, we typically refer them to Opportunity House. At this point, we are currently only taking individuals, but we do take it on a case-by-case basis as far as what their needs are, for sure.
That's great. We get a lot of calls about families and stuff too, but that's great under VSSC that you guys have Opportunity House to connect them to. That's amazing. And is that service free, or how do people get connected to My Friend's House?
Yeah, it is free. So basically, if anyone is interested or in need of that kind of housing, you just call into the program, and you'll complete a general phone screening, and we run a background check. And then after that, if it's a fit, then we go ahead and move forward with the intake process, and then connecting our residents and clients to other services that they need.
Amazing. It's
And that
incredible.
turnaround can be like within an hour.
Yes, it
Yeah,
can
it's
be
like
very
fast
quick.
turnaround.
Yes.
Wow.
Depending on, we currently can only hold 8 residents at a time, just to the size of our shelter. But if there's an open bed and someone who can come in, then we'll take you right then and there. And if not, we do have a waiting list procedure, so that in the case that it might not be available to you right now, but we will be able to contact you if we do have a bed or a space open up for you.
That's incredible. Up to an hour. I mean, that's amazing. That's a very quick turnaround.
Yes.
And are there any other limitations that would maybe, I mean, I know you guys have a screening and it would take way too long to go over the whole screening, but any limitations that you could think of where somebody wouldn't qualify maybe for this specific program?
Actually, as long as you're in the age range, you qualify. We are a
Great.
housing first model, so it is no barrier.
That's great. And so it's a shelter, right? So people like that's part of it. And then you have programs that come to them, or what does that part look like if they need other assistance?
So that's completely optional. If a resident or a client feels, hey, I want to explore this, or how do I even get connected to something like whether it be EBT or a school scholarship, whatever the case is, they can always come in and ask. And if it's not something that I directly have knowledge to, then we can connect them with someone who does.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's incredible.
And I guess now we can go into, could you tell us also a little bit about Youth Rising?
Yes, absolutely. So Youth Rising is actually our minor outreach, I suppose you could say. So what we do is we're on the high school campuses and we have different referral systems throughout the community that help connect us to youth who may be already facing some of the issues that would potentially lead them to needing a place like My Friend's House or Opportunity House. And so what we're trying to do is get to them preventatively so that we can help close the gaps for them before they're in a situation where they have to do the damage control and the cleanup and things like that. And so it's really cool. We're on 2 of our high school campuses in Vacaville right now, which provide them with 3 days a week. They can stop by at our office at any time. We have groups that we teach them about substance abuse recovery. We teach them about accountability, learning how to create a support system where they're at right now. And then we're also able to provide them with resources that they might need, such as clothing, food, basic resources, and if they need it, housing connected to Opportunity House with their family.
That's incredible. So you guys have an area on the school campuses? Is that
Yes.
That's amazing. So they can come to you during those, you said 3 days a week?
Yes. So we are at both Wilsey Wood and Vacaville High School on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Amazing. And are the groups also offered those same days?
Yes, so it's actually offered as a flex period, which is something that the Vacaville school system is set up. So kids can actually pick to come and hang out with us during their flex period, which is kind of like a homeroom. So they get to open up and have conversations about all kinds of things they might be interested in learning about, or something that they might be dealing with, and maybe not know how to ask for help or resources, but it helps get them acclimated to a space that's safe for them, or to people who can help connect the dots for them.
That is so incredible. How do we get that in every other school?
We are working on it.
That's so great, that they have that safe space to talk about this. And like you said, with prevention. How do students know about this? So is it something the school lets everybody know, or what does that look like?
So we started promoting within the schools. We have a referral system that we've given to school administrators. So if they know of a student who may benefit from the services, or maybe just would start with a conversation, they can refer to them or refer them to us. And then we also have students who will bring their friends, or they might know about a situation and they'll start bringing them around for them to feel comfortable. And then, sometimes it's easier to go with a friend, right? So beyond that, we do have a couple other programs that we work with in Solano County, other resources that we connect with, and they're aware of different families or situations. And it's kind of majority word of mouth at this point, but we are trying to get into the school system and working with the counselors and the administrators.
We get funding from the county for this right now, but we would really like to see buy-in. I mean, we are getting buy-in because the school district is giving us classrooms and access to a lot of scheduling things. We would like to see this where the school district is actually funding us. And I'd like to see it we started last year. Serena was at Armio High School because Armio funded it, and the need there. She's still brokenhearted that she's not out there, and she stays connected with those kids out there. So I'd really love to see it where, Solano County school districts. We're one entity, but I could see us growing with Serena in the lead and Ashley, my assistant, who's also been just crucial to how this programming works. Us all working together to build a strong team, and we're at every high school in Solano County.
Yeah.
If Fairfield needs us, holy mackerel, Vallejo does too.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many kids out there. And if we don't start with the prevention and we don't start creating these safe places for our kids, how do they learn how to break a cycle that they're in, that they don't even realize they're in?
Right.
Because unfortunately, when we're 15 years old, usually between 15 and 17, we think we're adults. We think we
Right.
got this. We don't need help. Our parents don't know what they're talking about, all of that kind of stuff, right? But the thing is that there's a part of you that does realize you're still a child, but you're not going to tell your parents that. And you sure as heck aren't going to tell anybody that's your teacher or your school counselor that you're that way. But if you had a place to go and you had someone like Serena that's just like, dude, I totally get you. I know what you're talking about. Or Tamara or Tatiana. I had someone yesterday at the talk that I did at the church that asked me, so do you have trained professionals and what are their credentials? And I said, life. I said, yes, we do have trained. Serena is trained. She's got lots of experience. But most of our people that are working with Serena, they have life experience.
Right.
They've been there, done that, and they can sit there and listen to someone's story and truly relate to them. And I think that is more important than a PhD.
More relatable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what is the best way if people wanted to get more information about the programs that you have? Do you have a website or anything like that where they can find that?
Yeah, we do have a website. You can also always contact me at 707-898-3181. You could send me an email. It's Serena, SERENAE at mfhsolano.org. Youth Rising is actually at a really cool place right now where it's not even just students that are in those two high schools that are reaching out for services. Like Colleen mentioned, that I still have students at Armio and Fairfield that I'll reach out to, or we have families who call in through really anywhere, just asking for simple things, or how can we help with this, or do you know about that? And so it's really growing quickly, but it's really exciting because we're learning, what the need is and how we can actually solve the need.
It's really amazing what you guys are doing, especially with the youth. I think it's so incredible. It's so needed. So we're so happy to hear about it. And before we end, is there anything that we didn't have a chance to cover? Is there anything you else wanted to talk about the program?
I just wanted to add that if they want to learn more about VSSC, they can go to vsscorp.org. So you'll have to spell that out because it's VSSCORP.org. And that one website will take you to all of our programming that we have. So, to go directly to my friend's house, you can get there through VSS Corp too. And Serena would be the best person for anyone that needs youth services to call her directly.
Great.
Well, we just want to thank you both so much for joining us today and teaching us a little bit more about the services that you provide. To learn more about this resource, check out the link in our post. And we also want to remind you that if you're looking for other mental or emotional health resources and services, you can visit SolanoConnex, which is spelled CONNEX.org. Thank you again.